Aloha and welcome to the Murph's Place 808 for the Love of Golf podcast. I am your host, Murph. What is going on, people? I hope everybody is doing great out there. It's been beautiful here. For the most part, it's been beautiful. It rained a little bit here the last couple of days. Matter of fact, yesterday it kind of rained all day for the most part up here where I'm at in Hawaii. But other than that, it's been great. Unfortunately, when I'm making the drive down to work, I drive right down along the ocean. And Tommy had told me, in the wintertime, you'll see the whales out there jumping around and breaching and stuff. So unfortunately, I haven't seen anything yet. Although the other day Saturday when I was driving down to work, I saw this like trail in the water and I thought, man, I wonder if that's a whale. I never saw it breach. And I'm also, trying to drive. Not that there's a lot of traffic on that road, but so unfortunately I haven't seen any whales yet. I'm looking forward to it. And it's pretty cool because there's a couple of spots that you can pull off and park there and get out and watch them. I mean, you could take a chair and, sit there and watch them for a while. I was going to say maybe some beverages, but they better be of the non-alcoholic type because you don't want to be driving, drinking and driving. So if you're going to sit out there and whale watch, take a cooler of soda or water or juice or stay away from the alcohol. Don't be driving and drinking, okay? But so I'm waiting for that, and it's just about time. It's not exactly whale season here. It's getting close. It should be towards the end of this month, the beginning of next month, but we'll see. Other than that, things have been good. I played golf for the first time in about 2 weeks. Friday, played the skins games with the guys at the course. Haven't touched the club in 2 weeks. I've been dealing with this rib injury. My back has been kind of screwed up, and it's been kind of a pain in my rear, actually, that I haven't been able to do it. And that's, even just these 2 weeks when I played, I didn't play great. I shot 82. 82. Yeah, I shot 82. I did win a skin on 17. I had a birdie on 17, so that was nice, but did not play great, but I really can't complain, not touching the club for 2 weeks, not swinging anything, not doing anything, chipping, putting, nothing. So it wasn't horrible, and, my expectations were that I wasn't going to play great, so I didn't get upset about it. I did lose some money to Leland, though. I nicknamed him my ATM. Unfortunately, I was his ATM that day. And also, Randy Kish, wow. I'm probably going to have Randy on the podcast next week. He is playing in the State Open. They started the State Open back up, and it's open to pros and amateurs. The only thing that I didn't like about it, and I'm not playing in it, is because of the price. For an amateur to play, it was $425, and that's for 3 rounds of golf. I guess you get lunch too. My buddy Ryan Acosta, who is a pro, he's playing in it, and he was texting me today, disappointed that I wasn't playing. But for $425, that's $212.50 a round at Kapolei Golf Course. I love Kapolei Golf Course. Don't get me wrong; it's a great course, usually in great shape for the most part. But it's not worth $212 for me to play it. Sorry. It is points for the season for next year for Senior Player of the Year, but there's no way I'm paying that kind of money to play Kapolei. And it's not even guaranteed 3 rounds. There's a cut, which you guys know I'm a fan of having cuts. So if you don't play well and you miss the cut, then you got 2 rounds of golf for that kind of money. That's ridiculous. We played the Maui Amateur at King Kamehameha Golf Club, which is a private course on Maui, and that was guaranteed 3 days, and it was only $325. So So I'm not playing in that, but some of these guys are playing. I know Randy is going to play, so I think I'm going to have him on the podcast to talk about the tournament next week when he gets back. He's going over to Oahu for that tournament. And then our season actually doesn't start for points anyhow, tournament-wise, until March of next year. So got some time to work on my game, get back in the gym. That's another thing with this back thing. I haven't been able to do anything because I'm so worried that, if I do something or twist or bend a certain way, this back thing is going to flare up. And it was so bad. I don't know if you guys have ever had this before, but the pain was so bad, it would make me throw up. That's how bad it was. I'd get nauseated from how painful it is. So I did find some relief with TENS unit. Those you put pads on, and and it sends electric shocks into your muscles and nerve endings. That has helped tremendously with the pain management when it does flare up. And it always seems to be when I'm riding in a cart, especially like I'm at home. It's not too bad, but then when I go to work, for some reason it starts hurting when I'm at work, and especially when I get in the cart and run around and pick flags up at night after we close. So anyhow, I have not been able to play, and that's why it's important, that you need to practice or play to keep your game in good shape, because obviously mine is not from not playing for the last couple of weeks. But anyhow, Beach Boys golf. Those guys have been playing. They played Hawaii Prince last Monday, and then this past Monday, or today actually, they played Eva Beach. And like I've said in the past, they're a bunch of great guys. Their new season's going to be starting up in January. So if you want to join, you just pay the $60 for the year, and that includes your gin handicap. And then just contact those guys on beachboysgolfclub.org and let them know that you're interested in joining. And if you can just go out and play with them, you play as a guest, and you don't have to pay the $60. You just pay your green fees. And what's good about that is, especially if you're not from here, if you're a visitor, the visitor rates at golf courses are ridiculous. They charge visitors so much money. But if you're playing with a group that normally plays, like the Beach Boys or STB or the VGA, you're gonna pay the group rate that those guys normally pay. And so like the Beach Boys, we pay, I don't know, $52 or $54, someplace at $56 to play on these Mondays with the Beach Boys. So if you're a visitor and you're going to be in the Hawaiian Islands and you want to play golf cheap, contact those guys to play on Monday with them. And if you live there if you live on Oahu, even if you live here, you don't want to go over there every Monday to play. But if you live over there, just contact those guys and let them know you're interested in playing. You can come out, play as a guest, see if you like it, see if it's going to work. You don't have to play every weekend. You can pick and choose what weekend you play. Just realize that you're going to get points for every time you show up to play, and you're also going to get points for every stroke under par with your handicap towards the end of the year thing, where Steve pays out money to the top. I can't remember how many places. It's quite a few, though. I don't know. It's like 8 or 10 places maybe. I think that's what it was. But a bunch of great guys. Steve Walsh is the main guy running it, him and Rob Kim. I used to be the president, but Rob took over my spot when I left, I guess. And they're doing a good job. So if you guys are interested in joining, just get a hold of those guys on beachboysgolfclub.org. Now, Dan Messner's group, the STB, Shank It, Tank It, or Bank It. Another good group of guys. And some of those guys also play the Beach Boys. Troy, Dan, Tommy, some of them, it's kind of a cross thing, because those guys, STB plays on Saturdays and Beach Boys are on Mondays. So if you want to join those guys, they played Hawaii Prince last Saturday, and this past Saturday they played Mililani Golf Club. So if you want to join those guys and play on Saturdays, I don't know, it kind of looks like, anyhow, for this past month, they've kind of been playing every Saturday. I don't know if they play every Saturday or if it's kind of like one or two and then a break for a week and then play again. But they've been playing quite a bit on Saturdays, and they also have started up a club. So I don't remember what the entry fee or the, not the entry fee, but the membership fee is that you have to pay. But I think it's just the $30, which covers your gin handicap. But they play mainly skins and greenies. I see they've added an optional chippies game, and I think they play something else. I can't remember. I can't remember what it is, but that's another good group of guys. Like I said, there's some of the same guys from the Beach Boys, and then there's some other guys on there that play that they don't play Beach Boys, but they play STB. So just go to their Facebook page. It's STB, and send a note, a message to Dan Messner or Troy Wirtz, and let them know you're interested in possibly playing. But good guys to play with and fun. So the VGA, Veterans Golfers Association, another good group. Wade runs that group with Joe Talamantz, and those guys played last Saturday. They played the Kaneohe Clipper course on the Marine Corps base. And then I'm not sure when they play again. Like, since I'm not a member of the VGA anymore, I don't have a schedule. I can't go on the website and look at the schedule. Or at least the last time I tried, I couldn't get in. But they do have a Discord channel, and they will send messages on the Discord. So I'm a member of in their Discord group. So I get the messages about Discord. So you can go on Discord, and it's under VGA. Let me look and see exactly what that is so I can tell you. It is VGA Hawaii is the Discord server. And you can go in there and ask them or see when they're posting about tournaments. Now, VGA is a little bit different. It requires you either have to be a veteran, you either have to be active duty, you have to be, or not you have to, but, or you can be a family member of somebody that was in the military. If your dad, uncle, aunt, mom, grandfather, grandmother, whoever, aunt, uncle, if they're in the military or were in the military, I believe you qualify. There's different divisions. So they have a family division, and you're only going to compete against other members in that family division. So there's a lot of different ways that you can join, but you can contact those guys and see. You can go to vga.org and actually join there or look into it there also. But yeah, all good guys. We have the funnest times. It's a good way if you're interested in possibly getting into some competitive golf. There's a few rules differences in the VGA group because they can make local rules so that they speed up pace of play. Because sometimes, some of these guys, you're going to have handicaps ranging from like 1 or 2 to like 32, So the pace of play can get kind of slow for those golfers that aren't that good at the game, but they're trying and they want to get better. And so they have different rules that they're not exactly like the USGA rules, but they're really close to it with some exceptions. And it's a good time. And it's a good way if you're interested in possibly playing some competitive golf. Even if you don't want to play competitive golf. If you just want to go out and have fun, meet new people, support others, especially with the VGA, they kind of started this up so that it keeps veterans. There's a statistic that there's 22 suicides a day by veterans. So this was kind of formed out of that to try to bring guys together, to show support for one another. Yeah, the golf is a competition and you're trying to win, but it's more about being there for each other and interacting with each other and having a good time. So But if you're interested in it, go to vga.org, or you can check on the VGA Hawaii Discord server and see if you can contact those guys there. All right, let's take a short break, and we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Murph, a passionate golfer and host of the Murph's Place 808 for the Love of Golf podcast. I have been involved in the golf industry for over a decade, and my passion for the game has only grown stronger over the years. Through my podcast, I strive to bring the latest news, insights, and interviews with professionals and amateurs in the golf world. Whether you're a seasoned player or just starting out, my goal is to provide valuable information and entertainment that will enhance your golfing experience. So if you're looking to improve your swing, stay updated on the latest golf trends, or simply connect with fellow golf enthusiasts, be sure to tune into the Murph's Place 808 for the Love of Golf podcast. Together, let's take our love of golf to the next level. And remember, the best way to stay connected is to subscribe to the Murph's Place 808 for the Love of Golf podcast and join our growing community of golf enthusiasts. So, hit that subscribe button and join me on this exciting journey. All right, welcome back, everybody. PGA news. Man, a lot of PGA news here lately. There's a lot of things going on, and we'll get into it. But, anyhow, we had the Hero World Challenge. That went on December 1st through the 4th at the Albany Golf Course in the Bahamas, the lovely Bahamas. I've only been to the Bahamas one time. And it's very nice, crystal clear water. It's beautiful over there. But it was years ago. I mean, we're talking 1985, maybe. Yeah, 85 or 86, 85, 84 or 85. Anyhow, Scotty Scheffler shot 20 under, and he won by 3 shots over Sepp Straka. Scotty Scheffler was one of my 2 picks. I was talking to one of my buddies, and I said either Scotty Scheffler or Victor Hovland. And so Scotty ended up winning. I wish I would have placed a bet on him, but I didn't. And so congrats to Scotty on his win. Obviously, the Hero World Challenge is Tiger's tournament. And Tiger actually played. This was his first tournament since he withdrew from the Masters last year, or this past year. This past season, I should say. It was still in 2023, but and also since his surgery, he had his surgery, and so he came out and played. Did not play very well. Shot even par for the tournament, and ended up finishing in 18th place out of the 20 golfers. Now, I like Tiger, but I get into it with my buddies all the time about Tiger. He's not going to be the Tiger that we all know and love. He'll never be that guy again. Okay. In my opinion, and my opinion could be garbage, but he'll never be that guy. He'll never be the guy that we know that transformed golf, back in the 90s. I have a bet with a couple of the guys that he won't win another tournament. Now, we had a limit. He's got a limited schedule. I mean, I'll never get paid this bet because they get like 34 more tournaments. Well, that could be, if he's only playing 4 tournaments a year, that's like 9 years before I see any money on this bet. So, and I messed up. Leland tried to make a bet with me that he would, I want to say, shoot 13 under or something like that, or 12 under. I should have taken that bet. I didn't, because he's Tiger Woods. I'm not saying that he's not going to play good. But yeah, so I missed out on that. But anyhow, he ended up shooting even par and finished 18th place out of the 20 golfers. Now, here's something that I do not agree with. Obviously, this tournament was a no-cut tournament. Okay, that's fine. At least it's not, the PGA Tour is not, every tournament is no-cut. That's live golf. That's exhibition golf. So you can play shitty golf and still get a lot of money. That makes no sense whatsoever. It's like a participation trophy. Everybody gets a trophy because they participated. No, the winners get the trophies. But anyhow, I digress. What I didn't like was that his OGWR, which is the official golf world rankings, he received with his 18th place finish, he received like 400 and some odd OGWR points. Now, the winner from last week's or the last tournament or whatever. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. The winner from the Australian Open tournament, and I can't remember who ended up winning it, he got like 2-point-something points, maybe even 1-point-something points. What sense does that make? In what world does that make? Yeah, he's Tiger Woods. Okay, I get it. But how does a guy that wins a tournament gets 400 points less than a guy that finished 18th out of 20 in the field in another tournament? That's ridiculous. That is crazy. There's no way that should happen. So I was not happy about that when I heard how many points he got. That's crazy. Crazy ridiculous. There's no way. I understand he's Tiger Woods and he did a lot. Don't get me wrong. Tiger transformed the game of golf. He brought a lot of people to the course. And he still brings a lot of people to the course. People want to see him. But, I don't think you give a guy 400 and some points when he finishes two spots out of last place. But anyhow, so that was the Hero World Challenge, Tiger's first return back. Not sure when his next tournament's going to be, but we'll see. This past weekend, we had the Grant Thornton Invitational Tournament, and it was played at Tiburon Golf Club in Naples, Florida. Now, the Grant Thornton is a two-player. There's a PGA player and an LPGA player, and they play a team best ball event. So the team of Lydia Ko and Jason Day won the event shooting 26 under. And they just edge out the team of Brooke Henderson and Corey Connors by 1 stroke. So congrats to Lydia and Jason on their win at the Grant Thornton. The next tournament up is the PGA Tour Q School presented by Korn Ferry, and that's going to be December 14th through the 17th. That's this week coming up. It's going to be played at the Dyes Valley course and TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Verde, Florida. Ponte Verde Beach, Florida, sorry. Okay, so in this event, all golfers will play 72 holes, 2 rounds on each course. There's no cut, and the winner of the tournament will get his PGA Tour card for next season. And he'll also get entry into the Players' Championship. Now, the top 5 guys and ties, they will get their PGA card for next season. And then the next 40 guys and ties after the top 5, the next 40 guys, they will earn guaranteed starts on the Korn Ferry Tour. And then the following 20 guys after those guys and ties, they'll get guaranteed starts on the PGA Tour Americas, which is the PGA Tour Americas is the PGA Tour Latino America and the PGA Tour Canada. So those guys, the next 20 guys after those 40 and ties, they'll get guaranteed starts on those 2 tours. And then all players will get conditional starts on the Korn Ferry and the PGA Tour of America's schedules. So a lot of ways that you can get, they're only going to take 5 guys for the PGA Tour. And then the next 40 guys are going to go to the Korn Ferry Tour. So there's a lot of way. And then the other 20 gets conditional status. So a lot of guys are going to be able to play professional golf. It's just depending on where. And, of course, our man, Brent Grant, is in the field for this Q School. And the reason being is he did not finish in the top 125 in the money last year. So he has got to go through this Q School to see where he's going to be. Now, last year, Brent finished. He finished playing in 37 events. He made 12 cuts out of those 37 events, and he had 1 top 10 finish. And then, so in the overall scheme of things, Brent finished 166th place for FedEx Cup points, 169th place for the fall FedEx Cup points, and 440th in the OGWR rankings. So he's in the field trying to keep his tour card. He played on the PGA Tour this past season, 2023. Came from the Korn Ferry Tour. We had our Brent Grant watch on the Korn Ferry Tour. This past season, we had him on the PGA Tour. And hopefully this coming season, he's going to be back on the PGA Tour. So let's all say a prayer for Brent to play well in this tournament, get his PGA Tour card back so we can continue to watch him on TV on the PGA Tour. Korn Ferry Tour. They'll be starting their season in January. Going to be in the Bahamas. They always kick off their season in the Bahamas. They have 2 tournaments. I'm not sure the dates yet. They don't have the schedule posted yet, but it's usually around the 15th of January or somewhere around there. So that will be their first event. And then, of course, we had our Jared Sawada watch last year on the Korn Ferry Tour. So hopefully Jared is back. I do not know if he has to go through the Q school again. He might have to. I don't know where I'm pretty sure he's going to have to, because I don't think he played very many tournaments last year. He may have been one of those guys that had conditional status, because I can't remember how many tournaments he played last year. And but I don't think he had any wins. I don't think he did really, really well enough to keep his and I don't know if those guys keep their cards or not. I'll have to check into that. I'll check into that and find out if those guys keep their cards for the on the Korn Ferry Tour for the following year. If they have to, I think they have to finish in a certain place to keep their cards for status for the following year. But I'll check into that, and I'll let you guys know next week. But other than that, Korn Ferry starts January in the Bahamas. All right, let's take another short break, and we'll be right back. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Do you have the best music taste out of all your friends and coworkers? The best way to prove it is to stay ahead of all the amazing upcoming talent. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. There's some artists out of Ohio that you should definitely be aware of. Dicasso, D-C-A-S-S-O, yes, like Picasso, just released a new music video for his song Going Back. This rapper turned singer has an upcoming album this year full of beautiful ballads, R&B slow jams, and hard-hitting rap records. Head to www.smartboystudios.com as soon as you're done listening to this episode of Murph's Place to watch the music video. While you're there, check out the phenomenal C-Money Baby, the Songbird, Corey Gossett, and all the top-tier talent that the Smart Boy production team are working with, such as Eamon Jones, July, 10 Tempo, TYS Markey, D Knight, and much, much more. If you or someone you know needs quality production, mixing, or mastering, just head to the website www.smartboystudios.com and fill out the contact form. You can support Smart Boy Studios by going to shop.smartboystudios.com to buy merch, or linktree.com/smartboystudios to check out the Discord server, new releases, and merch. All right, welcome back, everybody. All right, let's talk about this real quick. Like I've said in the past on the show, I'm not going to talk about, well, for the most part, I'm not going to talk about Live Golf. I'm not going to report on it. I don't care about Live Golf. Don't care. But this is big news, so I should probably talk about it. Jon Rahm going to Live Golf. Listen, when they're dangling $450 million in front of your face or whatever the number, I know it came out originally like $600 million or something, but I think he signed for $450. It's kind of tough to pass up that kind of money, to be honest with you. And I've had several discussions about this with other people, and everybody gets heated about it. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. It's unfortunate that John went. I wasn't a huge fan of John Rahm on the PGA Tour. I liked him. He's a great player. I mean, world number 3. I liked him, but it wasn't like I wasn't watching the PGA Tour because of him. You know, I've got other players that I like and that I follow, but to lose him to Live Golf, that hurts. Not gonna lie, that hurts. He's a top tier player. Makes no sense to me. You can go back and look at the clips where he's talked about the Live Golf Tour and the stuff that he has said, and now to do an about face is, to me, I have no respect for the guy anymore. Totally hypocritical. Totally hypocritical. Like I said, though, it's hard when somebody's dangling $400 million in front of your face to come and play golf. Now, what pisses me off is that he's using that old line that all of them use. Oh, we want to grow the game. You're not growing anything. You are not growing anything. The only thing you're growing is your bank account. You're not growing the game of golf, okay? That's not what Live Golf is about. Live Golf is about money. Just be honest. I would have more respect for you. There's only one guy on the Live Golf that I respect, and that's Harold Varner III. And the reason I respect that guy is because from day one, he has said it's money. I am going for the money. It's generational wealth. He can take care of his family. His family's going to be taken care of. I totally respect that. But to talk all this garbage about, oh, I want to grow the game, I want to have less of a schedule. Listen, they played 14 events last year, or they're playing 14 this year. The PGA Tour only required them to play 15. Oh, so there's one more tournament you had to play on the PGA Tour, but you want all this free time? Whatever, man. Come on. And they have the same, some of the basic same rules that the PGA Tour had. They have to get permission. They don't own their media rights. They have to get permission to do interviews. They have to wear, and this is what I don't understand, they have to wear team clothing, their teams, Live Golf apparel when they play the majors. If they qualify for the majors, they have to wear Live Golf. How does Brooks Koepka wear his Nike stuff and not his Live Golf stuff? How does that happen? And nobody says anything about it. I wonder if he's been reprimanded by the Live Golf Tour about not wearing his Live Golf stuff when he's playing these majors. Now, I have no problem with, I don't think they should be allowed to play PGA Tour events. I have no problem with them playing the majors if they qualify. But those guys are losing their rankings because they're getting no points, as they should not get any points. Every tournament they play is no cut. There's no cut. They could shoot 20 over and still get paid a large amount of money. A large amount of money. That is ridiculous. That's not golf. That's exhibition golf. That's not competitive golf. That's exhibition golf, in my opinion. When you don't have to perform in order to get paid, that's exhibition golf. If you perform and you perform well, you can get more money, sure. But if you don't, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. It's crazy. It's totally insane. Why would Jon Rahm risk his legacy on the PGA Tour? Now, I did see that he's going to keep his PGA Tour membership and he's going to keep his DP World Tour membership. And you guys know that they're in talks with the PGA Tour. They're trying to work out a deal. I don't think it's going to happen, honestly. I mean, the players, so there's, I want to say there's 5 players on the board, and there's either 6 players on the board and 5 other members, or there's 5 players on the board and 6 other members. But the guys that are on the board, I mean, I know I saw something the other day that Rory, since John went, it was just announced yesterday or the day before or something like that. But since John went, or Thursday, I don't know. But since John went, now Rory's like, well, he needs to be on the Ryder Cup team. Why? Because he's one of their best players. The other guys he doesn't care about. He doesn't care about those other guys that are in Live Golf that can't play the Ryder Cup. But he does care about Jon Rahm because Jon Rahm is one of the top players, and they need him to defend their cup at Bethpage Black next. 2 years? They play it every 2 years. So, yeah, listen. Just be honest. Take the money, go play. That's fine. But don't spew this garbage about, we want to grow the game. They all said that at first. And then now there's been a couple that have come out and said something about the money. But to go and say, especially Jon Rahm, the stuff he said, you guys need to look it up. Go back and look up some of his interviews when they were talking about Live Golf and the stuff that he said. And now for him to join them, it's crazy. It's hypocritical. But like I said, when somebody's dangling $400 million in front of your face, that's kind of hard to turn that down. Now, I've been asked, a couple of my buddies asked me this, so you wouldn't do it? Well, right now, currently, yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat, yeah. Why? Because I'm not playing on the PGA Tour, and I wouldn't be able to cuddle on the PGA Tour, but it don't matter on the Live Golf Tour. I could shoot 20 over and still get paid. Yeah, I'd join. I'd play. But if I was a top-tier player on the PGA Tour, Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, I wouldn't be going. I wouldn't be risking my legacy that I want to leave on the PGA Tour. So anyhow, okay, my rant is over. Rant is over. Like I said, I still have not watched one iota of Live Golf. Not one. I know one of the guys turned it on at work one day, and I was like, I'm not watching. I don't even care. I'm not watching it. So he ended up turning it back to something else. But yeah, I have no desire. No desire. A lot of those guys, they're done. They should be going there because they can't play on the PGA Tour. They can't compete with those guys. I compare it to this. I can play golf sometimes. When I say, I can play golf all the time, but I can play golf. I can play really good golf sometimes. Can I play it all the time? No. I don't always have the best rounds. Hence why I play in the senior events in these amateur tournaments I play on. Because I can't compete with these young kids that are shooting. I mean, Tyler shot a 10 or 12 under, 11 under. He shot 11 under at the Big Island Amateur or the Waikoloa Invitational. And James shot 10 under. I can't compete with these young kids. Hence, just like Live Golf, those guys can't compete with the golfers on the PGA Tour anymore, for the most part. Brooks Koepka, okay. Now Jon Rahm, okay. But for the most part, those other guys are done. They're past their prime. They're not going to win anymore on the PGA Tour. So I compare that to me playing the senior events because I'm not going to play against those young kids. They're too good, and I can't consistently play that good. I can admit that. I'm realistic about my game. So anyhow, I don't know. Good luck to him. I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what this deal's supposed to come up at the end of December between Liv and the PIF. So, and I don't know. I know the PGA Tour is looking at some other investors, some third party investors. So maybe they don't need them. Maybe they won't be able to use them. But I did read on one of the signature events. So the PGA Tour has these signature events where the purse is like $20 million now. And I know one of the sponsors, I want to say it's Wells Fargo. I'm pretty sure it's Wells Fargo. I think this season they will not be sponsoring the Wells Fargo tournament any longer, and part of the reason they said was because of the increase in purses that they have to pay, because the PGA Tour wants the courses or the tournament sponsors to pay more money. Sorry, not the courses, but the tournament sponsors to pay more money. So, some of these guys are like, what am I getting in return for this extra additional money? So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I personally don't think it's going to go through the deal between the PIF and the PGA, and they can extend it. I guess they can extend the deadline. The deadline's like December 31st or something like that, and they can extend it. But I don't know. We'll see. And, then Congress was involved with the congressional hearings on, this deal, and they wanted Yasser to come over and testify, and he wasn't going to do that, and diplomatic immunity and all this other kind of crap. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But I just personally, I don't think they're going to be able to work out a deal. And I don't think Live Golf would go away even if they did. I don't know. They're talking about the PIF investing, $1 billion in the PGA Tour or whatever, but I don't know what that looks like as far as, is Live Golf still going to be around? Are guys from the PGA Tour going to be able to go play on Live Golf? Is Live Golf going to be able to come back to the PGA Tour? Are they going to be able to, the range of things. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But, hey, thank you guys for listening to the show. I appreciate it. Shoot me an email if you have any questions, comments. Let me know what you think about Live Golf. I'd like to hear your opinion on it. Shoot me an email at merceplace808@gmail.com. Let me know what you guys think about that. If there's something else you want me to talk about, if there's any rules questions, any topics, whatever it may be, shoot me an email. Let me know what you want to do. Now, one thing I want to bring up is that Anchor used to be the podcast provider, I should say. I don't know if that's the proper term, but Spotify ended up buying Anchor out. So if you could, I thank you guys for supporting the podcast and listening and taking your time out to listen to the show. But if you could go, it doesn't cost anything to download Spotify, but you can listen to the podcast on a wide range of services. I mean, you can do Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public. I mean, you can listen to it on a bunch of different things, but I would really appreciate if you go to Spotify. If you listen to the podcast, go to Spotify and listen on there just for the algorithm. There's also a place there that you can send me a voice message, and there's a spot there that you can click on to support the podcast. And any of the support that you guys give me, it goes right back into the podcast, whether it be equipment or whatever it may be. So I really appreciate you guys listening to the podcast. Take a time out. Like I said, if you have any questions, you have anything you want to discuss, whatever it may be, please shoot me an email and let me know. There's always a poll question on the podcast too about how you like to rate the episode and stuff like that. So if you guys could, though, go to Spotify and listen to it there at Spotify and subscribe there if you can. And other than that, I think I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, I'll try to get Randy Kish on here next week. We have a little battle going between us this past season. He started playing some Hawaii State Golf Association tournaments, and we always have a bet at the course. He comes to the course and plays all the time. But we were having a competition just between us two about who could win the most tournaments. So right now we are tied. Well, not win, but finish ahead of the other person. So right now we are tied at 2 each. Now he's playing this one, but I'm not playing, so this one won't count. This one this week. So, but we'll continue this competition for next season for see who can do better than the other guy. But I'll have him on the show next week to talk about his tournament here and see how he did this past week or this coming week in the tournament. So like I've always said, if you guys are playing golf, hit them straight, hit them long, but don't hit them very often. Aloha, everybody.